Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to FloRc. I'm Kobe, and today we have another Let's Talk video. So, what are we going to talk about today, Kobe? So, today we're going to talk about how to grow your confidence in yourself and your airplane, okay? And we're going to talk about some things that you might not think about before you go out to the flying field, okay? So, you're telling yourself, Kobe, I'm very confident in my skills, but I just can't get past the mental block of, hovering right in front of me or getting low or doing these things. So we're going to talk about that today. But first, I'm going to tell you guys about myself. So, myself, I've always been a very conservative pilot in real life. And that's a thing that I've learned to kind of take as an advantage instead of a disadvantage, because there's a lot of people that you see, at these big events that are just balls to the wall all the time. They just have an on switch and everything about their flight is just hardcore and scary and cool. Yeah, that's awesome, but those are the people that break the planes the most, right? Yeah, so I'm gonna put my controller away here real quick, but those are the people that break the plane the most. And there's some people out there that love doing that, and that's completely fine. However you want to fly is the way that you want to fly. But if you're more on the conservative side, such as me, and you only have one airplane to fly usually, and if something happens to it, then you're not going to have a backup airplane. So let's talk about that. How are we going to grow your confidence so that you're able to fly and not be scared of yourself, your airplane, or any external factors? How do we get over that? So let's talk about the first thing, okay? And let's talk about how to not second guess your airplane, okay? So second guessing your equipment is almost as dangerous as second guessing yourself, okay? So second guessing your airplane means that, maybe I forgot a screw, or the servo was making noise when I turned it on. I forgot if I tightened the props all the way. You need to forget about all that, okay? The way that you're going to gain confidence and not second guess your equipment is making sure that everything is secure before you go out to the flying field. Make sure everything's secure when you get to the flying field, okay? And then double check everything once you're ready to fly, okay? That's how the best pilots in the world keep their airplanes intact, okay? Because preventive maintenance is the way that your airplane isn't going to fall apart in midair, okay? So the more that you start doing that, and the more that you're proactive to make sure that your airplane is always ready and at its fullest potential, then you're going to start to gain confidence in saying, this isn't going to break right now, okay? But here's a caveat, okay? There are some things that are not in your control. There are some things that will never be in your control, okay? If a servo burnt out, if a servo gear burnt out, if the engine dies, if your wing flies off, some of these things are just gonna happen, okay? And you always have to be aware of that, okay? There are some things you can make sure your airplane is the most perfect airplane before you fly. But something can always happen, okay? So that's where you have to draw the line, okay? And make sure that you're flying safe, because there is always something that can happen no matter how much effort and how much time you put into making sure the airplane was perfect. But you also need to realize that you've done everything that you can, so therefore the airplane is less likely to break. So therefore, you need to stop second guessing your airplane and have fun. Okay, the worst thing that you can do is just second guess your equipment and think it's gonna break all the time during your flight, because that's the worst way. You're gonna lose confidence. You're just gonna completely blow your whole entire attitude and your mood at the flying field. I've done it myself. I've done it for years. I always thought that, maybe if I bought this new airplane and put all these new stuff in it, it's gonna be perfect. But this airplane that I'm flying right now isn't. You need to stop that, because every airplane can undergo the same amount of the same amount of preventive maintenance, okay? So, yeah. That's the bit on the airplane part. I hope you guys understood all that. You guys can go back and rewatch it so you can kind of get some tips. But the next thing we're going to talk about is yourself, okay? Second guessing yourself. That's another bad attitude that we can't have at the flying field. And the way that you're going to be able to gain your confidence and fly low and hover in front of yourself for that profile picture on Facebook that you send to everybody, and everybody's like, oh my god, that's such a big plane, you can fit in it. I don't know if other people get that. I get that all the time. But the way that you're gonna do that is to master your skill, okay? Is to master just everything about what you want to do, okay? Because as soon as you start thinking about, oh my gosh, I'm doing rolling harriers 2 feet off the ground, I forgot how to exit it properly, then you're in trouble, okay? That's when you're in trouble. We don't want that to happen. So before you start bringing it down to the deck, you need to make sure that you are completely confident in your abilities as a pilot to bring it down all the way to the floor, okay? And if you're not, that's okay. The way that you gain confidence is not through the sim, okay? The way that you gain confidence is getting that practice in real life, okay? Feel the wind, feel the prop, feel the power of the airplane, okay? And that brings me to my next point. There are things that you can't learn on the sim, okay? There are things that you cannot learn on the simulator. On your brand new Real Flight 9 with your controller, there are things that you cannot learn, and I'm going to go through that. The thing that the sim cannot teach you is being next to an airplane while it's hovering, while it's doing rolling harriers on the runway. The sound, the vibration, all that stuff, you cannot learn on the sim, okay? If you've ever stood next to an airplane, like 2, 3, 4, 5 feet away from an airplane that's hovering, that's like 120cc with that DA-120 with a Falcon 2711, you feel the power of that airplane. You feel it. You hear it, okay? You know? You feel it kind of in your bones, right? It's a powerful airplane, and it's right next to you. And it's scary. It's scary to think about, okay? But the more that you're around it and the more that you're used to it is the time that you're going to realize that it's not dangerous if I do it properly and everything is completely under control. The only scary part about it is double guessing your airplane or second guessing yourself, right? That's when things get dangerous and people get hurt, okay? And your beloved airplane goes into the ground. We don't want that, okay? So you need to learn how to control yourself and not get a huge adrenaline rush from hovering and the people behind you clapping, and whatever your situation is, you need to learn to control your, not your temper, sometimes your ego, but you need to learn how to control that adrenaline rush that you get when you fly really close to you and low and loud, okay? So yeah, so I went over how to not second guess your equipment, your airplane, how to not second guess yourself, and what things you can't learn on the sim are, right? So I hope you guys enjoyed that video. It's a pretty good idea, really, because I had so much trouble with getting lower and second guessing myself and just having that mental block. I had that for so long, and to an extent I still have it, okay? But as soon as you overcome that, you're gonna have 1,000% more fun at the flying field at events with your friends, and that's priceless. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Please like, share, and pound that subscribe button. We're on the road to 500 subscribers. I live stream every day on Facebook Live at 8:30 and 11 p.m. Eastern, so make sure to join that. Thank you guys so much for watching, and stay tuned for the next video tomorrow.